Hey guys, Joey Battista here. Today I'm going to teach you what I learned, 4 things you got to do to properly delegate. Listen, before we get started, if you find value in the video here today, please subscribe, like, or share it with somebody that needs it. Listen, the big thing about delegating, what you're going to learn here today is how to, 1, buy back time, okay? 2, you're going to learn how to identify top talent, right? As you work through the process, you're also going to learn how to develop people, right? And how to get really clear on what it is, okay? So let's go ahead and dive right in. Here's the first thing. I do it, right? Anytime you bring someone in and you want them to do something, right? You're trying to delegate it. Don't just give it to them and ask them to do it, because what's going to happen is you're going to be frustrated with how they do it. Not only are they going to fall short, but now you're going to create an inefficiency for yourself. Remember, one of the big things you're doing here is you're trying to buy back time. But in order to get that time, you're going to have to make those investments. So the first thing I always do, or at least I strive to do when I'm doing it at my best, is I always do it first. And if it's something that I don't know how to do, it's the same thing would apply. I'm just crystal clear on exactly what it is that I want done. So there's no misunderstanding, right? And it kind of gives the person...
Hey guys, what gets measured gets scaled. Listen, everybody knows one of the most common problems for an entrepreneur. They just don't know their numbers. So what I did is I created a CEO dashboard to help you out on your journey. Go ahead and click the link below and it's yours absolutely free. Now let's get back to the video.
They feel empowered and they also feel engaged because guess what? They know what to do, right? There's no misunderstanding. Let's dive into the second one. Now we do it. So the first one, I did it. They watched me do it. I did it at a high level. We do it. We do it together. And during this process, what happens, because remember, in a lot of cases, this is at least their first time doing it with you, possibly the first time doing it in this situation. But here's the thing, when you're doing it together, this opens up for coaching opportunities, questions, and when they feel heard and they understand and you're crystal clear, now you get their buy-in. And so when you're doing it together, it also gives a leadership aspect to it, to where everybody's bought in and everybody's part of the team. So now we go in and we get to, now they've done it, right? We've done it. Now I have them do it. And I sit there like a fly on the wall. And this is where it really becomes the coaching opportunity, because you want to let off the throttle because you're like, okay, I already did it. We did it together. They're good to go. No, this is the really, really big key part of it. You watch them do it, because chances are they're not going to do it right or to the level that you want them to do the first time. And this is an opportunity for you to raise your standard, right? There's no better time than when you delegate something to get somebody engaged right at the very beginning, right? Because they're going to start out here, and if you don't follow this process, they're going to slowly but surely decline, right? And I learned this over 30 years of doing it, because I would delegate, hey, here you do it. I'm paying you the money. You should be doing this because I pay you. You have this degree. You have this on your resume. You have this experience, right? You should be able to do it. But guess what? It doesn't work that way. So now that they're doing it, what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to let them do it. And I'm going to explain to them that what I'm looking for is for them to do it for a long term at a high level. And this is part of their career pathing, right? Like, how am I going to elevate? What's next? Well, you're going to have to commit to 10,000 hours of mastery. And I've given them the framework because I did it. We did it together, and I've aligned the expectations. I've coached. I've asked questions. I've created clarity. I've gotten buy-in. I've led. So now here we are, they're doing it, and they're going a long way. And what usually happens when somebody does something 10,000 hours, they learn nuances of it. They become better at it. So they go in there, they get their 10,000 hours of mastery, and then here we go. This is the trophy of all trophies. Number 4, this right here. You train somebody else to do it. This is the achievement of all achievements. Right? Because when you delegate someone and you made that investment into them, okay, and you've went in and you spent the time with them, you've given them your energy, and then you've given them your resources and or your team, company, whatever the case may be, and you've allowed them to practice, coach, and develop with them and get their 10,000 hours of mastery, now they're ready to train someone else. And this is the holy grail, because why? Everybody's struggling in companies with the same things. They want to grow, they want to scale. And human capital is the best capital, right? But there's also intellectual capital in the business, right? I hear the term human capital, and as much as it's a very true term, I also wonder, right? It makes me think like it's not really just human capital, it's the intellectual capital that these humans have. And now what we're going to do is we've done a good job, bringing them in, developing them, showing them how to delegate. We've given them a good framework, a framework that is scalable, because if they bake this into the DNA of your organization, what happens is now it's standard. When somebody comes in, you're like, well, how do I career path? Well, you're going to have to train your replacement. So now you've hand selected the next at bat. You have the individual that has already grown and developed, and then here you go. Here's the magic. Now they repeat the cycle. They go in and do that. When you can achieve that in an organization, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can't do, rather. Okay? It's the number one most important thing. You have to be able to train people. Okay? Because usually we hire people, we throw them in, or we give them a couple days onboarding and we throw them in. But where's the continual piece of it? Let me tell you something. It has to be baked into the culture of a company. It has to be baked into the DNA. If it's not, you're not going to be able to grow and scale. And this was a very hard one for me to understand. And it's still, even to this day, because I lack patience in some cases, it's very difficult for me to do it. But luckily for me, I have enough leaders that I've developed. They can do it. But it doesn't mean when I want to make sure that I want to get somebody across the goal line, and or when I'm starting a new venture, if I have a business I already been in, it's already operating, this is already taken care of. But when I'm starting a new venture, I have to go back to the basis. In fact, this is what I'm doing right now. So when I was going through it, I was like, what's a tremendous amount of value, something that every single person watching the video can go ahead and apply right now today. You don't need any training. You just need to walk out with whatever you're doing. You need to do it. Here you go. Here's Johnny. We hired him. Tina, Sarah, Antoine, whoever it is, we hired them. You just walk out. You do it with them. Then you go in and you do it together. Then you have them do it. Then you have them do it for 10,000 hours of mastery. And then guess what? Boom. Now you duplicate it. Listen, I love sharing this today with you guys. I hope it brought you a tremendous amount of value. Please like, subscribe, or share. And if you're interested in getting closer with me, hit the link below. Have a good day. See you on the other side.